Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be working on this 1969 112 hydraulic lift with a patio seat. The hood is no longer patio, but I can say the tractor is a patio. White paint, white everywhere, white there, white there. So this was a patio tractor. It's a 1969, so it doesn't make any bit of difference. The 69 patios, they aren't worth nothing anymore. John Deere steering wheel spinner. This was somebody's work tractor, and it came with a mower deck. I pulled that off last night before I pushed it in the shop here. That way, I had more access to get to things. Also has a sleeve hitch and some other assorted redneck stuff on here that's got to come off. But I want to get this tractor running and use it to till the garden. So the story I got was this was the man's dad's tractor, and it was put in a storage unit. When they got the storage unit, I think he said 8-10 years ago. It might have been longer, I don't remember. So this tractor's been sitting at least 10 years. He said it was probably sitting before that, but he's not sure. Doesn't know if his grandpa bought it new or if his dad bought it new or what. It was not dealer painted green. A private person painted it green because otherwise the dealer would have switched out the orange seat for a just John Deere normal yellow one. Pumped up the tires last night, and they're still holding there, so that's good. Somebody shouldn't have had a grinder that did, but oh well. Not sure. The guy I bought it from said that was probably not any of his family, but he's not sure. So we're going to dig into this thing today, get it running. Something I did notice when I bought it, low on oil. So if we get it to fire, we won't be able to run it until we change on that. Everything was just kind of sprayed green. Battery cables don't look so healthy. So yeah, we're gonna have to do something with that. Do have the battery cover here. Let's check the gas tank out. Wow, it smells strong. Yep. That's gonna need cleaned out. Engine does turn over. I'm a little worried it's worn out. I don't know if you guys can hear that sound, but it might have a knock to it when we get it running. We'll see. Hopefully that's something else. It was sitting in a storage unit, not outside, so nothing seems to be froze up. Transmission in it is pretty tight, so that's good. I'm thinking it's a replacement trans though, which is bad. This tractor, being a 69 112 hydraulic, would have had an LSD transmission, limited slip differential, and I don't think that it does because the trans is painted black, but they could have done that when they repainted it. Hopefully it's the original trans and it just doesn't have very much use on it. But let's get this battery yoinked out. Oh, also you see the whole back of the dash is white here. So let's get the battery yoinked out of here, toss a new one in, and see if she'll turn over with the key or where we're at. I already see we got something going on down here. Got wires unhooked, and we'll see. Battery is removed. This battery was corroding so much it ate up part of the nut and both washers and the bolt on the positive side. So wow, that's a lot of corrosion there. But wait, there's more. Look at all the corrosion down in here. That's bad. Then this, well, sure, that's probably not supposed to happen like that. So that's junk. Hopefully it's not needed. But yeah, there's lots of naked wires in here, right here. So I don't know if I even dare hook a battery up to this yet. I'm going to do some looking around. Yep, there's one that's broke off. This thing may need a complete rewire before we can even hook up a battery. So what I might do is just redneck something up in order to start it, instead of catching myself on fire with all this mess. And once we know that it runs, we'll just rewire it. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you some more of the damage. I'm guessing they really messed this thing up before they parked it. When I had the hood sitting on here, these bolt holes are like inches back. Wondering why that's crooked, so I looked, and this was run into something. It's shoved back like 2 inches. So somebody was a horrible driver on this thing. They bent this back, broke the bezel. They got this wedged in there, so this needs to be brought forward. And then in here, of course I showed you this. It's all bare and coming apart. Here's one here, all bare. Completely. Several in here by the key switch. Yeah, if we'd have hooked up a battery in here, we'd have definitely had a fire on our hands before long. So this tractor, I am not going to be able to hook up a battery until I completely rewire things. So I'm going to have to figure something out in order to get her running. But I am not going to hook up a battery to the factory, anything. I'll probably just use jumper cables and figure something out. But we're going to tinker around with it and see what I can make work. Alright guys, sorry about the rain noise. Got the wiring harness pulled out. So let's start over here. This wire here comes off the solenoid, always has power, gets power for the whole system. Naked all the way up to the last inch or so. Okay. Voltage regulator wires, don't look too bad. This is the starter solenoid wire. Doesn't look bad either. This is more of that power wire. Come up here, and here you have the 2 wires to the ammeter. Both completely naked. I just cut those wires. I wasn't pulling them out. Wires at the key switch here, naked and broke off. So yeah, plus the wire I had showed you earlier. That's the one that's probably broke off right here. So that seems fine also. Lights wire, not horrible. Didn't pull it yet. It looks okay. So yeah, it's a good thing we check the wiring every time before we hook things up, because otherwise we'd have a problem right about now when we're hooking up the battery. So let's redneck something, rig something up, see if this thing will run. Alright guys, we've got the new harness built. Here's the old one. Lots of bare wires, all that crud. Here's the new one. Pretty much the same. Yes, I used all the same color wire. That's what I have, and that also keeps people from hot wiring it. If all the wires are the same color, they can't just look in the parts book and cross the two colored wires they need. So, and since I know what I'm doing and where everything needs to go, we're good. We got power wire, start from the solenoid. Of course, this is your engine plug. So you've got spark, and then your two stator wires. This goes to the voltage regulator. Two stator wires goes to the ignition. Then this is power in, and these all go to the key switch. So this is side-by-side comparison. Looks pretty good. We're going to get this new wiring harness put in. Then we ought to be able to continue moving along on this. Alright guys, we're about to hook up a hot battery. This ought to be the first hot battery it's had in a long time. Pardon the screaming children sound in the background. I think the neighbor's out with his kids. Okay. I don't see any fire yet, which is a good thing since we've, rebuilt the system. Alright. Where's the dang old coil on this sucker? Got voltage at the coil. There's a big start there. I'll be hooked. Let's get the spark checker. Oh, this appears to be a fuel pump tractor. Great. We're just going to ignore that for now. Make your guesses, guys. If you guessed we have no spark, you would be correct. Points. Okay, so we need to clean the points. The fuel line that was on this is so brittle, if you touch it hardly, it just crumbles. It's just junk. It's just falling off everything. This one looks like it was replaced. Still pretty hard though, so I'll replace it again. But yeah, the other fuel line is just crumbling. You see here's a chunk up here. I pull part of it out and it just breaks. I just crumpled another piece off. Every spot I grab, it just crumbles apart in my hand. So that tells you how long this thing was in storage. So I'm gonna get this tin off here, get the muffler off if we can, and we'll get to the points. Alright guys, I did new points and condenser. See if we got sparkles now. Yep, we got good spark. Now that we've attacked the electrical and the spark issues, let's pull the carburetor off and rebuild it. So I just pulled the plug off camera. What the inside of the engine looks like. This is what the old plug looks like. I already clunked a bunch of that crap off. So that seems great. We're going to spin this over and see what comes out. Oh boy. That's really corroded. It's supposed to be 9/16, but it doesn't really have a shape, it appears. Start with. Maybe not. Without some help. There we go. Alright fellers, so as I tried to show you when I opened it up, this carburetor is really clean inside. I didn't have to clean any of this, but I had it apart, so I did wash things up. The outside was covered in crud, as you guys saw. Now it's clean. I did find a couple of issues though. Main, high idle jet, it's fine. But I think the low idle jet has a bit of an issue. It's supposed to be straight. If you can't see on camera, it's not. And then this is eaten all off. So those will get replaced. I'm not even going to put the carb kit to it. I think this gasket will seal. It's still softish. So let's get that back together. First we got to find some parts though. A couple of new pieces of parts out of a parts carb. Let's go back together. Alright, you just saw me rebuild the carb. I just took the tank over and did a clean out on it. Not going to be perfect still, but it's significantly better than it was. So we'll put an inline filter in here and put it back together. Alright y'all, just got back from the gas station, put some gas in here. We seem to have gas clear to the carb now. So we're going to hook the battery up and start it. I am going to try not to make too much noise though, because I have a little friend. Cat got a baby bunny, and so now I've got a baby bunny because I took it from the cat. So let's see if we can make a big mess when we get this thing to start. Oh, we got to put the dang muffler back on first. That would have been loud. Okay, first we'll put some of this stuff back together. Then I'll bring you back and we'll start it. Alright, things are put back together some more. I'm going to hook up the battery and we're going to see if this will pop off. Oh boy. Oh my, this engine is whooped. Well, we now know it runs. But now we know why it's low on engine oil. So that's great. I'm going to get the oil changed because, as you remember, it doesn't have pretty much anything in it. So we're going to get this oil changed out in this thing. And since it's going to burn it anyway, I'm going to use something thick. So let's do something. Engine oil's changed. Just fired it back up. Hydraulic lift, so okay. It doesn't. I don't think the spool is going all the way in. For down, it goes real slow, but the top up works good. Let's try out transmission. Clutch is all the way down. Got to jam it into gear. Transmission's fine. Smoke's starting to try and clear up a tiny bit, but not a lot. I'm going to leave it sit here and run, get a bunch of the stuff cleaned up, and we're going to take it out and drive it around. Steering does need some work on it, but it'll buff for now. Oh, I thought smoke was clearing up some, but it ain't. It is charging. Bump it up to third. Yep, that works fine. Fourth, also fine. let it sit around and run for a bit, see if any of that smoke clears up. Alright, this thing's still out here running. It's been at it for 5 or 10 minutes now. Still smoking. I did adjust on the carburetor a little bit. What's it doing now? Apparently it decided to throttle down. See if it'll still run at the idle I put it at. Yep. Runs good enough to idle pretty good. Doesn't smoke as much as an idle. You know, I bought this tractor to put the tiller on, but honestly, I don't know if it is even worth it. I'm going to let it run a little while longer and hope it comes out of it. Once we let it run a while, we'll check the oil and see how far it went down. I had it up above full pretty good, maybe half an inch or so. That way it had some extra to burn. So I'm gonna let it run a little longer, see what it says. Still charging. So that's good. Transmission works good, brakes even work. So I might just end up finding another engine for it and going that route, but we'll see. I'm gonna let it run a little longer. I think it's getting worse. Got a whole plume of smoke over here. Runs good, but it's got either a rod knock or the balance gear knock, and it smokes like a chimney. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but there's a big ass cloud of smoke over there. Oh, this isn't good. Well, I think that's going to be a wrap for this video, ladies and gentlemen. It does run and drive. That's what this video was about. I now have to decide what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I said earlier in the video, I can't remember. I bought this to put the tiller on and use as my tilling tractor, since the 214 needs a bunch of work. That way I could have a tilling tractor and be working on the 214 and not worry about when I need to get the garden tilled. But this thing smokes and burns a lot of oil. So I'm not sure if it's worth messing with. It burned quite a bit of oil on that run. It's still over full, but I'm pretty sure it was quite a bit more over full than that to start with. So it is a nice tractor. The transmission's really tight. The clutch doesn't work the best. You have to just jam it into gear because for some reason with the pedal pushed all the way down, the clutch and the belt still turns. So that's something that would need to be looked into to make this a good, reliable, everyday tractor. But the main thing is the engine. I'm not sure if it's worth fixing the engine or not. So I'm going to have to decide on that later. If it ran good and didn't smoke, I had a 112 hydraulic lift hood I was going to put on it, and a nice bezel, but it currently doesn't look like it's going to be worth dumping a bunch of money into. I'm going to take the sleeve hitch off and that ridiculous setup there and look, and I'm going to consider putting the tiller on it anyway. But smoking that much, man, it's not good for your health to be breathing it in. I've gotten a headache already from running it. And so we'll see. I do need to finish bolting the tank back down, but we're going to call that a wrap for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do with this tractor. I hate to part it out. It is a decent tractor, so I might try and find another engine or something like that. Not sure yet, but let me know in the comments what you think I should do with it, and we'll go from there. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you're not already, please consider subscribing. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.